You're listening to After the Review.
After the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After Review. I'm your host, Peter. Joining me this week is Terrell. What's up, Terrell?
What's up, Peter?
We ready to roll?
Somehow you dragged me back onto the stage, and you successfully done it. I don't know how, but I'm here, and I'm ready to pod. I just want to let you know these takes come in cold. Not much research was done. You text me
early. I gave you ample notice.
No, you gave me ample notice when we were doing the podcast, but you text me at 4. Let's look pulling this up. At 4:49 that what we were doing and my workout class started at 5:15. I'm just letting you know that right now.
I only hit you on the NBA takes. I mean,
no, but that's fine.
You should have an idea because that's what I gave you the earlier notification about.
No,
also,
you're definitely right. You're definitely right there. Like I have an idea. I just maybe it's probably best I just go off my gut.
I told you that's what the people love. They don't want you to be overthinking it. Just we want boom. Like last weekend we were hanging out. It's like boom, snapshot. Here's a hot take. Oh, this is the reaction to the said hot take. That's what the people love. I guess I got to start with it because we've had some pushback. We got to go with CFP, right? We got to start. That's the big talking point right now.
You have a lot of pushback on it. I do not, but let's talk about it.
Okay, Final Four: Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame. I have a real issue with the committee right here. They contradict themselves left and right.
Let's start off by saying you are an A&M fan.
We all know.
We have a little bias.
We all know. Okay. You're an A&M hater, even though you have a degree from that program.
Twice
Degree from that program. You're a massive hater. But, so, the College Football Committee has one goal, right? They're supposed to pick the 4 best teams in the country. Not what they look at, not based on team name, not based on this. It's who has the best resume. 4 best resumes. Like, who got it done on the field this year. And I think there's a really, really strong argument for A&M over both Ohio State and Notre Dame, depending on how you view it. For sure, I think, can we agree with this? Can we agree with this? Ohio State should not be allowed in the playoff this year. Like, it's not their fault, but it's their fault. They play in the Big Ten. They played half the schedule every other team played. They got the rules changed twice for them to be eligible for their conference championship game. And in their 2 best games, their 2 toughest games, it was the 2 worst performances by the team. So I don't know in what world you view Ohio State as good enough to be in this playoff. You're a good team. You're talented. You played half the games. That's half the opportunity to be upset. And let's be honest, Indiana and Northwestern are not perennial powerhouses at all. And they pushed them both games to the brink.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Indiana not so much push them to the brink.
What do you mean? Game was 42-35. Indiana's Michael Penix Jr. for 491 yards, 5 touchdowns. Fry Fogel had 218 and 3 touchdowns.
I know you have the stats there, but if you watch the game, Ohio State's in control the whole time. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that Ohio State's losing that game.
Here's where I'll push back. The score was 42-21 going into the 4th quarter. Okay? You think Ohio State's in control. Indiana scored 2 touchdowns. They scored a touchdown at 12-26 and 10-26. So for the last 10 minutes of the game, it was a 1-score game. So that game was very much in doubt. Justin Fields also threw an interception in a 7-point game. Justin Fields had 3 interceptions in that game. He looked terrible, and he's looked terrible in both his good games. He had 2 picks this weekend against Northwestern.
Yeah, okay, we're not talking about Justin Fields.
But that's part of the evaluation. They've played bad in their best games. You're not running for 400 yards against A&M, Clemson, or Alabama. That's not happening.
You're not wrong, but also on the flip side, I think they've shown the way to win those games. I just think we know Ohio State. Okay, it comes down to it. Ohio State beat the teams they beat, and they beat essentially 2 ranked teams. They are Big Ten champions. You can't help that. It's more of the Big Ten's fault than Ohio State's fault.
That sounds like a PP to me.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but they got in, so it's not really a PP. But
I had a real issue with the committee saying, "Oh, we didn't even look at their schedule as a factor." Then why the hell do we even play football games? I know you brought this up. A&M should just duck Bama every year. Uh-oh, we got the sniffles. We don't need to play Bama. It's equivalent to a win if we don't even play the game.
I mean, definitely, possibly. That might be the solution. But I want to go back to Ohio State's points in that they won Big Ten champions. They beat everybody in their schedule. They beat a ranked Indiana team. It was ranked top 10. They beat a Northwest. I think a Northwest team that's very good.
6-2, 6-1 in the conference. Lost to Michigan State.
I would go out and say that Northwestern team will be who's.
They got Auburn in the Citrus Bowl. They have Auburn in the Citrus Bowl.
I think they will. Well, that's not fair because Auburn has a new head coach. I mean, this is
doesn't have a head coach.
I'm not going to evaluate that.
But let's be real. Ohio State ran for 400 plus yards against them. Auburn should be able to run the ball against Northwestern has no front seven.
You're not wrong.
They have nasty corners. That's about it. Their offense is anemic.
Yeah, but I think Northwestern beats Auburn or the second. I won't even say. I think they'd be the third best team in SEC West. I think that's true.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
This year. I think. And I do think. And I saw Kellerman tweet this and. He's wrong and also not. He's right and also wrong. It is a watered down year for SEC. That is what ultimately I think hurt A&M is that the SEC was watered down in the whole because you didn't have the.
So how can you argue the SEC's watered down when you stuck 4 teams in the top 9? So that's a counterpoint. Clearly the committee values the quality of the SEC when you stick Florida, Georgia, Alabama, A&M in the top 9. That's 4 teams.
That's great. But it's great. But which of those A&M played 2 of those 4?
Played 2 of the 3. Well, we're one of the 4. We played 2 of the 3. Florida played all 3.
Florida played all 3. But I'm saying you lost the 1, you beat 1. So, but you don't have you didn't get to play chance to play Georgia. I think to Florida's credit, they had more of a resume if they weren't to lose to LSU and beat Bama.
Obviously, if you're a one, if you're a one-loss team, if you lose to LSU and you beat Bama. Then you have a real issue here because it's really hard pressed to look A&M in the eye and say Florida gets in over you because of the way the rules broke down. I mean, how come the ACC isn't punished for, we just take the best records this year? They've played conferences their entire year, and this year they're like, we're just going to take the top 2 because if we took the top 2, A&M would have got Bama again. And Clemson would not have been in the conference championship game if they took divisions. Clemson would not have won their division. Notre Dame would have.
Yeah, I'm saying that's smart on ACC's standpoint and not smart on SEC standpoint. But the SEC, to their credit, they had a really good team, Florida, coming in. I think the Big Ten should have done the same thing. I think we should have had Indiana Ohio State rematch in the Big Ten championship. I do.
Yes, it wouldn't have been fair because Penix was hurt. So I'm okay with Northwestern actually getting that nod because I know Indiana's not going to beat them without their quarterback.
Understandable, but I'm saying hindsight.
Well, Ohio State shouldn't even have been eligible. They only played 5 games.
That's the Big Ten's rule, though.
They changed the rule.
But you got to think, it's the Big Ten's rule. Who's punishing them for changing the rule? Because it's their rule. They shouldn't have came out
I'll
and
say this: everybody agreed Ohio State shouldn't be in. Everybody who's in, except for Ohio State, did not vote them in the top 4 because of the lack. They know what it takes to prepare. I'm going to talk, let me go Bear. The man played 4 years of college football. He knows what it takes to lace up, prepare every week. When you're the favorite, playing at Oklahoma, you have to deal with these upsets every week. Let's not kid ourselves. And he's like, they should not be in. This is not fair. It's not close. It's a massive advantage.
You're not wrong, but we're basing that off of, okay, they didn't play enough games. That's all it is.
That's tough. It's COVID year. That's tough. You can come back next year.
My point, that's COVID year, so that's probably why they got away with it as well.
So I have a problem though.
It's a double-edged sword in my opinion because yes, we're getting mad at them because it's COVID year, but they also probably getting away because if this would have happened any other year, which I don't see.
Well, they would have played a full schedule. Yeah, they would have had to play a full schedule. I don't have a problem if you play a full schedule.
Yeah, it's over with now. But I see what you're saying. I understand you're being upset. It's so hard for me to take out the Big Ten champion and not give them a spot. So here's another stat that'll hit you with. So if everybody started the day Ohio State started, we'd have 9 teams that are undefeated, including A&M with a win over Florida and Oklahoma, both better team, both with a better resume. But that's not true because you would have had to play Bama again. You would have reworked.
No. We would have just started from the date. We wouldn't have played Bama.
That's not what the Big Ten did. They reworked their schedule.
We got COVID. We got the COVID. It's just there's 9 teams undefeated with a better strength of schedule, better strength of record with a win that are undefeated.
But then you wouldn't have got. My thing is okay. So your point, I see your same point. So then you still wouldn't have got into the SEC championship, which I think you need to get in my opinion. And when Bama, let's see, okay, either you need.
So I agree. So they should disband the divisions then, or everyone should have to play divisions. They can't have it both ways.
I think this is a 1-year weird deal. Is that because?
But the Big 12 gets a massive advantage every year because you get the top 2 teams every year. So you could, like, Oklahoma literally redeemed their loss. And it's that simple.
I mean, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I just think, like, it's just the way it is in the SEC. But usually you get another case because this year, I think it's just a weird year. And I think it's a bad year all the way around. I think it sucks because A&M was very good this year. But you usually get those non-conference games that help you boost you over that Ohio State being Big Ten champion. You know what I'm saying? No, well,
to be fair, because of COVID, we got Florida on the schedule, and that's our best win. So
yeah, so like like I said,
but of course,
COVID is just
only A&M gets let down in the best way possible. We're the first one-loss SEC team not to get into the playoff. Like that's insane. I know, but it's to us.
Also, the first time we've ever dealt with this whole COVID.
We also beat a top 5 team.
I mean, you're not wrong. You beat a top 5.
I heard. I did hear. So whatever.
Let's the conference championship in our division, and we didn't even win the. Well,
Joel Klatt did report today that there's serious talk about moving to 16 for the health of the sport because there's a real talk around college football that this is a sham. Like you're literally going in name brand only. If we were Texas and there was no A&M on the back end of us, we're getting in. There's no question. We're in.
I think
they're putting us in over Notre Dame. There's no question. Notre Dame literally got in because of name.
I think that's a little bit true. And I think there's more of a case. So personally, for me, I think the committee, and I know they can't do this, but year in year out, they've always. And I text this to my friends. They've always taken Notre Dame in, and what does Notre Dame do? They get embarrassed year in year out. And I told you this, and you said no, Notre Dame's good this year. I said
and then they got wrecked. But Notre Dame got their shot. Notre Dame got their shot. You play a tight game with Clemson, I don't have a problem with you getting in.
And I told you, I said they do this all the time to us. We think they're good, but they're not really good. Like Brian Kelly is probably a great head coach, but he's a horrible big game coach.
Yeah, they pulled up that stat. The last 4 postseason games, they've played Ohio State, Bama, and Clemson twice, and they've been blown out by 25 plus or 20 plus points in every game.
I'm just like, if you're the committee. Like, and I know it's like different.
But it's money. Like, ESPN tells them we need these teams for money because we need to make our money.
I don't 100% agree with that, but I also don't know.
How can you explain like Oklahoma getting in every year when like they shouldn't get in?
But like, I don't know. It's over with. They picked the 4. We can't like go back and change it.
I mean, we have a stronger case than Notre Dame. So apparently they dinked us for struggling week 1 against Vanderbilt. That's what came out today. But you didn't punish Iowa State for losing to Lafayette week 1 because they were ranked 6th and they had 2 losses. So you didn't punish Iowa State at all for losing week 1 to UL Lafayette. So the inconsistency is ridiculous. Again, I'll say this. We lost by 4 more points than Notre Dame lost to Clemson. Bama scored a garbage touchdown against us, and Notre Dame scored a garbage touchdown against Clemson when they pulled Trevor Lawrence. And it's just like, come on, man. Let's be realistic. We lost week 2 to Bama at Bama when they had Jalen Waddle. Notre Dame got beat by 24 yesterday. You know? Let's be real. And if you don't want to give us the matches, have us jump Ohio State and punish Ohio State for playing 6 games. Give us A&M Clemson, Bama Ohio State, and then you don't even have to worry about it. It's not a big deal. And it's ridiculous. And I hope to God Notre Dame plays well because I'll feel better about the decision, but I know they're going to get waxed. And A&M hopefully doesn't get demoralized, and we show up in the Orange Bowl the next day, and we smack that. They said that was the deciding win also. North Carolina, their great win, that they beat by 7 points. It was a tight game all game.
I'm telling you, it has to do with the SEC being so watered down this year.
But why can't you? I don't understand how you value their win against Clemson, though, at home in double overtime against the backup quarterback. When they put in Trevor Lawrence and they get waxed, that game was not close, ever.
I think you're just... I just think you're having a little bit of
So if we beat, so wait, you'll say I'm right if Alabama beats Notre Dame by 3 touchdowns, and we beat North Carolina by 17 points, right? You'll say, okay, they fucked that up.
It doesn't equate.
But it does. They said Notre Dame was better than us because of their win over North Carolina. We're gonna go beat North Carolina. We're going to go smack them.
But it's bowl. Like my thing, Peter, because this is what you're gonna do. This is literally what you're gonna do. Because every SEC team does this, and I hate it with a passion because they do it all the time. If the SEC team shows up, like, oh, we should have got in. If they don't show up, they're like, oh, we should have been in the CFP. We didn't really care about this bowl game.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue for us. I'm not excusing Florida because Florida has no case. Florida needs to go beat Oklahoma. They have no excuse unless Kyle Trask opts out. I mean, they did already lose Pitts, which blows. But unless Kyle Trask got
it's just I don't take.
You can't honestly tell me we wouldn't dominate North Carolina full strength on full strength. It's not close.
I mean, I don't know, but I don't want to take. You could. It's either way. You're gonna play the card either side of the coin, like whatever, how you want to say it. Because if we lose North Carolina, you're gonna be like, well, we should have been a CFP. Our minds are off that and all this other stuff. And we should have been in.
That's not a good excuse for us because we have not played in a big bowl game in a long time. We need to be focused and win that game. There is no excuse for us. You need to go win that game. You need to make a statement.
Okay, I mean, let you know. I don't want to hear that excuse though.
No, unless we literally lose our entire team to opt-outs, we need to win that game.
That's understandable. But if they don't, no one opts out and everyone plays.
Yeah, we need to win that game. There's no excuse. We need to win that game. There's no question.
Okay.
You need to win that game.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
as long as we're both on the same page. Let's move on. The CFP has been decided. There's always next year. I think. Listen,
we're gonna be bad next. We're gonna be mediocre next year.
But that's my thing, though. I mean, I understand you're gonna be mediocre. But if you want to be a great program, try to be there in, year out. These Ohio State's always in year in.
It's just hard. 4 offensive linemen and a new quarterback is the issue. The defense is going to be good again.
Yeah, I mean,
4 offensive linemen. We play Bama late, which I do appreciate. It might take us a little bit to get King settled in with a new scheme. We'll see.
I mean, it sucks, but it's I would hate because to be completely honest with you. If A&M, I say we, and you know how I feel about that. I feel like it's fine, whatever. If A&M would have gotten, I do think they would have got embarrassed.
I think I know for a fact the spread would have been less in Vegas. I know for a fact it was. It's 20.5 right now against Notre Dame. It would have been 13.5 versus A&M.
Still think we get embarrassed.
Why?
I watch I watch.
Who do we keep the off? So Alabama's defense has not been playing well the last few weeks.
And that's
we're gonna keep Mac Jones off the field. That's all we're gonna do, and that's how we beat people.
Yes, you can try. Also, I want to talk about Alabama's defense because I nerded out today on some stuff. Okay, so we'd probably play Alabama, right?
Yeah.
4 seed, 1-4. Right?
If you want to go that.
I truly don't think we want to see Clemson, to be honest.
We played Clemson tight the last 2 years. I don't think we have a problem playing Clemson. We played Clemson competitive with a worse team. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be run the ball and control. We'll see. Maybe if Clemson shuts down Ohio State's run game, then we'll see.
I don't know. Either way, it's over with. Let's talk NFL and NBA.
All right, NFL. I mean, Jesus, I don't even know what to talk about. It's hilarious.
I know a couple things to talk about.
It is funny out there. The Steelers are a dumpster fire. Kansas City can't win any game. Also, screw Kansas City. Backdoor cover, lazy asses. New Orleans is not good with Drew Brees at all.
No. Okay. I have debunked it. I am off that train because I think the Saints are a very good football team. And Drew Brees, his first game back, I want to say this right now. I think the Saints are better than the Packers. If the Packers-Saints play today, I got the Saints.
The problem is I don't think the Saints can beat the other teams in the NFC. The Packers can't stop the run. So if they can run the ball against Green Bay, Saints can't beat Seattle. I will promise you, Seattle will go in there and wax them. And I also think the problem is the Rams. I think the Rams match up super good with the Saints.
That's fine, but I'm talking about. I don't think the Saints. I think the other teams, but don't think the Packers are the best team in the NFC.
I don't either.
They have coasted by, in my opinion. They played some. We talked about this the other day, and I want to go back because I've been saving this nugget. we've talked about the schedule versus like them Chiefs. So we're talking about the MVP scenario, and I want to talk about that as well. I just think the Packers have coasted by week in and week out, and it looks like they're like the greatest team ever. But I don't really think they're that good. I just think teams do dumb things, or Rodgers gets up so early that it's too hard to come back, or whatever. Which is a credit to them.
They get every close call.
They get a lot of freaking calls.
Welcome to my world. Everyone calls me a crazy person. You see that the same set of teams get every call in tight games.
I don't think I'm not. If the Chiefs were to play the Packers and like yes, I'd be scared naturally, but I don't see. I'm not truly that scared, other than like Rodgers doing some crazy.
The problem is that game's good. I mean, it's gonna who has the ball last, because your defense isn't gonna.
That's exactly what it is. No, but I think the Chiefs' defense is better than the Packers' defense.
We'll see this week, because Tennessee plays Green Bay this week. I've seen Green Bay get physically dominated by Minnesota. Like, Minnesota stuck it to them in Lambeau and said, we're just going to pound the rock, keep Rodgers off the field.
And I think that's what's going to happen this weekend.
This is their proving ground, because if you can stop that Henry train, you can stop anybody. Because they're the number one offense in football right now, Tennessee.
Yeah, I just want to come out and say I don't think the Packers are that good. I think the Saints beat the Packers if they show up. And I think the NFC is like, it's not. I don't think the NFC is better than the AFC, but the NFC has some sneaky. The thing is, none of these teams play consistently week in and week out.
That's the problem.
That's somewhat the Packers do, but the Packers, in my opinion, I feel like they haven't really been playing anybody, and like I don't know, it's really weird. I feel like they easily could have lost that. Panthers game.
I don't think New Orleans can beat LA or Seattle, especially with no Michael Thomas. Drew Brees can't throw the ball downfield, and neither of those teams are going to let them run the ball, and they're going to get after Drew Brees. They need to put Taysom Hill in at quarterback. It's the only option they have. It gives them an extra element to worry about. He can't throw the ball downfield, and if you push Drew Brees off his spot, he is terrible.
Yeah.
So I mean,
their defense is like so good. I think that
I watched Kansas City not really struggle with that defense most of that game.
Okay, I want to talk about that a little bit too, because people were trying to give like, I think I was listening to like, I don't know, well, Bill Simmons in the South, and they were trying to say like, oh, like Kansas City is struggling. Like
they were in control 99% of that game.
Yes, that to me, like I know I'll come here every week and complain about how they like let people back in the game. That was more of an impressive win than they've had all year versus any other team, I think, because I think the Saints defense is very good, and they showed me like they converted on third downs, they moved the ball down the field. Kind of got lucky with the Cam Jordan deal, but I'll take it. Whatever.
That was a good. I mean, that was a clear punch. That was an easy.
Yeah,
rejection.
It was a clear punch. But I'm just saying, like literally next play we like ran that side either ways. But like, and I also think like, as much as they want to talk about that fumble,
that is a bad play. That offensive line can't block, and that is an issue. No, that was a terrible fumble Mahomes took.
I'm talking about the punt.
Oh no, I'm talking about the strip sack that let New Orleans back in that game, because that game was over. That was a bad play. Really bad play.
But I'm talking about more the punt in the half. Yeah. And I do not know. I think the only reason why DeMarcus Robinson was down returning punts, because he almost never returns punts, is because Mecole got hurt the series before. He got banged up, and I'm sure like it was like one of those things. Is like, are you like one of those like, are you good?
We don't need to put him out. There's no reason to put him out there if he's a little tweaked
or something like that.
Somebody go catch a punt. We don't need to run this back. Just catch the ball.
Yeah, and I told my dad all the time. I was like, he likes DeMarcus Robinson, and I think DeMarcus Robinson is a whatever. I'm like, I could go without DeMarcus Robinson. And like, I literally texted him right after that. I was like, I told you, I do not like this dude. I think everybody has a person like on a team they don't like, but you know what I mean? Like, he does things good well at times, but DeMarcus Robinson is my guy for the Chiefs.
I just don't understand why you don't stick Tyreek back there and tell Tyreek like, hey, just call a fair catch. No. You tell him call a fair catch. Don't.
He won't do it though.
No, you look at Andy Reid looks him in the eyes like, call a fair catch and we'll draw a play up for you the first play of the drive. Like, just call a fair catch. We just need you to catch this punt. Because Tyreek Hill can catch the punt. He will catch the punt.
No, you're not wrong. He can't catch the punt, but like we saw what he's done.
Yeah, he'll try and do
like he thinks he's like invisible back there by himself, and like I think that's done. I don't think you need to risk Tyreek getting hurt catching a punt.
Well, he ain't gonna get hurt if you call fair catch. You can't touch it.
That's true.
Just wave the hand, catch the punt. It's sometimes you got to be smart and better than good. I agree.
I just think he gets a little greedy sometimes, and I trust Mecole a little better. Anyways, I think that was a great win by the Chiefs.
We'll see how good it is.
I know you have O-line questions or concerns, and to be honest, yes, the O-line is iffy, but we haven't got Mitchell Schwartz back.
Is he coming back though?
I hope so. Yeah.
I mean, he's your
so
best offensive lineman, so you kind of
he's the best offensive lineman. We kind of need him back. Eric Fisher just got back this week, and we've been plugging in literally. I read an article about how the offensive line is four guys who haven't played together. We're just trying to put it together right now and make mix and match, and I think that's one reason the offensive line isn't great to start off with. To be honest,
you want to hear an offensive line stat that you'll like from the NFL?
What's
so
up?
You talk about plug and play. So the team with the second most different offensive line combinations in a game is, I don't know who it is, but it's 16 total different combinations. The Eagles are in first with 38 different offensive line combinations this year.
Jesus. It explains a lot.
Yeah. So there's
really
a little
does.
O-line tip right there. Jesus.
Why is this a thing now? If I honestly, if I were to have a kid tomorrow, I am hoping he is at least 6 foot. I hope he gets my dad height and
Are you trying to get on our boy Matt for not putting on another getting up to 320 and being an intense guard right there?
I'm
be a
just
big
saying,
man.
it's obviously people need offensive linemen.
The problem is there's plenty of offensive linemen. They're just all really bad. There's 35, 40 real good offensive linemen that are pretty competent 90% of the time, and then there's just guys that can't block anybody the rest of the way.
Teach my son how to really block somebody. I don't know. I just it seems like
it's not sexy. That's why
it's instinct. I guess animals about to go instinct or some shit like that. I don't know. It's it's so hard to find them. I feel like every year we're in the draft, they're like, oh, we got to get this guy because it's the next couple are going to be I don't know.
To be fair, if my boy's 6'2" and he's got broad ass shoulders, my ass is gonna be like, go learn how to run and keep that get lean, baby, because you're gonna be a wideout.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you also could play freaking center and be nasty and figure it out.
That's a tough job. Center's a tough job, man.
Center is a tough job, but I'm telling you, if your son's good at center, he will be in the league for a long time.
That's not true. That's not false. That's definitely true. The only way, my man's gonna get banged up. It's a tough life down there.
CTE is probably 100% gonna happen, but I don't know. It just seems like it's something that's in need, and I feel
Minnesota spent an 18th overall pick 2 years ago for a guy who can't block anybody in pass protection. He's on his ass every play at center. Yeah. So there you go.
Or if I'm a college O-line coach, I'm just listen, I will get you to the NFL and get you right. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I tell you that. I hate to go back to this. This is what's going to make the Aggies. This is why I believe in Jimbo and the Aggies for long-term sustained success. We're going to recruit the beef. That's all. We're going to have beef every year, and we're going to develop beef.
You know who got... No, it's the same reason why, the same reason why they're running through these linemen like they are now, and it's the same the same reason a couple years ago, they had all those first rounders, because Jim Turner, who's the Bengals O-line coach right now, recruited all these guys. Jimbo kept them on. Somebody hired him his last year. Jimbo kept him on because Jimbo's this guy is for real. Obviously, he's for real because he got an NFL job. So, Jimbo's still going to recruit the beef. I just, obviously, they've been coached up really well still. But,
the offensive line was really bad. They were not good Jimbo's first year, and they've turned into, the best offensive line in the country.
Yeah. Those guys were super young, but now those guys, I remember most of those guys, I was heading out. They were they were coming in. Dan Moore Jr., which I think he's a finalist or semifinalist for one of those lineman awards. He was a freshman when I was there. Yeah. So
they're finalists for the best O-line in the country too, and I think they're probably going to win it.
Yeah. So, shout out to Jim Turner.
Get the beef right there. How about Tampa Bay? You gotta love Tom Brady just destroying Atlanta, right? In their hearts, in the handle.
I kind of was hoping that Tampa Bay would lose because I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it's rigged. Tampa Bay is never losing. Come on. You saw that spot at the end of that game where they just gave Tampa a first down. The ball is clearly short of the sticks, and that was the shit I was talking about against Minnesota 2 weeks ago. They are making sure Tampa Bay is winning. There is no doubt. Wow. There is no chance they are not making the playoffs.
Riley lost on his parlay because of that.
Well, he's got more issues with that. Atlanta blew a 24-7 lead again.
Yeah, no. He needed Tampa Bay to cover.
Oh,
because he needed them to kick the field goal instead of kneeing it out for the first down.
I get that. There you go. That's why you don't gamble, people. This bad beats right here.
I know. I like gambling. Okay. So I told you. We're just gonna go on a tangent here. But I have the Bengals under 5.5 wins, and now I'm a little nervous because of yesterday. I was like, okay, cool. Like the Steelers would beat them. There's no way they can get to 5 wins.
And then they're gonna lose to the Ravens week 17.
They're still gonna lose to the Ravens week 17, but like, it's gonna be a sweat fest now. It should have been easy.
Hey man, tough. That tie's really hurt. That tie is not helping you.
No, it's not helping me at all.
You needed that. You needed the L right there. Is Cleveland gonna win the division?
I sure hope so. I hope they do now.
Like,
they deserve it. They played I mean, what's going on with the Steelers? I text John. I don't know why I text
their
John.
offensive. That team is soft. That team is soft. Mike Tomlin's got to be losing his damn mind there. They're soft. I mean, look at Juju. Juju's the clown. Mike Tomlin drafts these guys. They bring these wide receivers in, and they're clowns. They're a bunch of clowns. They're really good, and then they're clowns, and then they get beat by physical teams that work hard. Yeah. It's that simple. I did love that. Juju's dancing on the logo in the center, and he got whopped.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. They can't run the ball either.
They can't. They're not physical. They're not a tough team. And the defense is a one-trick pony. If you can protect for a little bit, they can't cover. They don't have any coverage on the back end. I don't know what's happened.
They've lost two really good defensive players. That's to their credit. They lost Devin Bush and Dupree, which is like...
Yeah, but that's part of their pass rush. I don't understand why Micah Fitzpatrick and Joe Hayden can't cover. Why can't they cover on the back end, though? They don't cover anybody on the back end. They're still getting a decent rush.
I lost fantasy because of that.
Yeah,
tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting a decent rush. Yeah, they're not on that crazy pace they were to start the season. So maybe, but we always knew they were an inflated 11-0 team. The AFC North plays the weakest schedule in football. So Cleveland's record's also inflated. They play a super weak schedule.
I mean, you're not wrong, but still suck that the Bengals should have.
Oh no!
At least for 1 turnover, 2 turnovers, something.
Yeah, I got you that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in general. I'm talking about football. I don't care about your fantasy. I don't have those issues over here. We're banging $130 back-to-back weeks over here, catching dubs. I got to play my dad again for the 4th time this year.
No, he's gonna beat you for the 4th time.
No, I beat him. I beat him in the playoffs in the first round. In the losers consolation, I beat him. So there you go.
And then you guys are back match up in the
losers championship again.
Is your mom? Is she in like the winners bracket?
No, she was in last place. She was about to be the Sacco, but then she won this week, so she's not in the Sacco. And me and my dad would both be in the championship game if we had gotten in. If Lamar didn't have beat us to get into the playoffs, we'd both be in the championship. We've outscored everybody the last 2 weeks. The only person that outscored him in the playoffs was me. Week 1 when I beat him. I know it's tough. So yeah, I think NFL Buffalo. I love Buffalo. I think that's the team to watch in the AFC.
Scary.
That's the team to watch in the AFC. They don't run the ball well enough for me, but that's definitely the team to watch in the AFC.
Yeah, neither is Chiefs.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's go to hoops. We are currently live. Hoops are tipped off as we were recording this.
I was gonna watch the game while we did this podcast, and I figured that was not be a good idea because you wouldn't get my full attention. So
there you go. I mean, I have it on. I mean, Brooklyn's comfortably beating Golden State. So I mean, it's so weird that they've started. So it feels way too early, right?
I mean, in a way. I mean, from going from the bubble, you mean?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
The bubble. No, I've always told you Christmas Day is when the NBA season should start in a regular year.
I agree, but supposedly like that's the reason why they started this early so they can go back to a normal schedule because they didn't like the ratings they got from.
They're never going to get rating. I mean, okay, I don't want to get political. Their ratings dropped for a very specific reason, and it was because of what was written on the court in the bubble. It caused a massive backlash with the NBA ratings.
I mean, we're not getting into that, but
that's the problem with the ratings. Also, it's not the right time for. I feel like you kind of know when you're supposed to watch these sports. Like it was in the middle of the summer. Like you don't. I know we were desperate for sports, but it was still like this isn't.
That's when they would play though. If we started in December.
No, don't play 82 games. You play the same schedule. You move it back. 2 weeks. And you don't need these long breaks in the playoffs. Like, I can't stand the NBA playoffs. You get 4 days off in the middle of a series.
Yeah, that's really a little wild. But I do think playing in the middle of the summer is fun. I think it's something to watch. I think sometimes I turn on baseball because that's literally the only thing on. And, like, I don't even I'll watch baseball, but
But you're supposed to be out in July. I mean, July, really, we're talking about July is,
My thing is,
the month.
My thing is who goes on a family vacation now, and if playoff basketball, since it'd be playoff basketball is on at like 7 o'clock.
But they can't do that. That's not prime time. That's not prime time. Prime time's 8:20 in the East.
8:20. Okay. Anyways, but who's not going on vacation and doesn't have a TV in the hotel room on their phone?
People are trying to see Nate. People are trying to see nature, Terrell. We're trying to see
but
nature.
still.
People are trying to get away from the world.
They're still gonna. I still think they're gonna tune in and watch a freaking.
But it also hurts the Olympics on top of it, though. I mean,
I think that's another reason I didn't really think about it. It kind of hurts the Olympics, but I think like we should be able to play. We should not have to have KD, Curry, Harden, and like Beal. We should be able to play with like 21 under guys and be okay in Olympics.
I want to win every time, though. I don't know if we'd win every time. I mean, to be fair, the rest of the world is getting a lot better. Like, imagine. I mean,
you're not wrong.
I mean, think about that Australian team they could technically put together. You could have put Ben and Kyrie and, Patty Mills together on that Australian team with Andrew Bogut when he was good. And that's a very competitive team. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I don't think we need our top stars. I think we could figure out maybe under 25.
Well, we saw what happened when we threw the B team out there. We lost in 2004.
Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah, they weren't. That's not the most focused group of guys out there.
I cannot believe, and maybe I am... Sorry, I'm just going off a tangent because Auburn officially hired Boise State's head coach. What makes you think like that's the right hire?
It doesn't. We were guessing. We were trying to figure it out when we heard he got fired. We were like, "What is who? Who are they gonna hire?" And
you think he is? I don't want to take anything from Boise State, but the guy just got beat by San Jose State.
Yeah, the fighting Nick Starkles.
Yeah, but what makes you think? I mean, he run a tight knit program. I guess that you can think like you could look at the Chris Peterson like track record, but like Chris Peterson is like.
He was average. Great. I mean, he was...
No, he's a great coach.
He was solid in the worst conference in college football, though. I don't see any heat from the Pac-12.
He's a good coach, though.
I don't feel any heat from the Pac-12 whatsoever.
Trust me, he's a solid coach. Anyways, they hired him. Anyways, maybe that's the best guy they could fire. Maybe they wanted to move in a different direction. Maybe they want like a more culture guy, and I think maybe that's what he is. But
you could have got, what's his name? You could have got Northwestern's head coach. Been there forever.
I think he's going to NFL though.
Is he?
That's what I hear. Whispers.
I don't know. Yeah,
he seems like his philosophy seems like because he gets guys to buy in. I don't know how much X's and O's guy he is. I'm sure he is, and I don't want to like discredit him. But he seems like more of like get a guy to get you to buy into the program and what we're talking about here.
You need that in college more than you do in the NFL. You need.
You don't think so?
I think you need X's and O's.
I think that's what Matt rules. I think that's what Matt rules. Like that's why he changed it. He's got these guys playing for him. Like
and they can't win a game because they don't have X's and O's. Their late game execution is atrocious.
That is true, but I think that comes with time, and they're still.
It does, but you need to be an X's and O's guys to win in the NFL late in games.
Also, they need to get their running back together.
It's true. But, I mean, look at Andy Reid. I wouldn't say Andy Reid is the strongest culture guy. He's brought in some, suspect characters and stuff like that, and things have gotten out of hand. But he's a super strong X's and O's guy, and that's why he's constantly won 10 games.
Like, one or the other, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would much rather have an X's and O's guy than a culture guy. It depends on your situation. Like, if your culture is super toxic, maybe you need a culture guy. But if it's not a super toxic culture, I'm going with X's and O's. Like, Houston needs a culture guy, for sure. Houston's toxic. The Jets are toxic.
But like, if it was me, like, this is what I do. Because, like, this is like how I would think. I would be like, if I was a culture guy, what I would do is bring, like, some, like the best. I would go get the best offensive coordinator I think I could go get. And I would go get the best defensive coordinator I can get. And I would let them do their thing. Obviously, if I'm a head coach in the college or NFL, like I know X's and O's. It's not like I don't know X's and O's, but I'm gonna like let them drive that ship, and like I'll plug in where I need to be, or whatever. But like that would be my philosophy. And I'm sure like that's
I think you need to be a more established older guy though. Like these young guys kind of have to hold their hat on that they can coach in the NFL.
Well, that's the thing. But like that's what I'm saying. If you hire a what's the guy, Matt LaFleur, or Kingsbury, like that, like Jonathan Taylor, like Zach Taylor. Yeah, you're hiring those guys to be X and O guys, not culture guys.
And that's most of the. I mean, Vic Fangio would probably be the only guy I would think was a culture hire in Denver recently. Yeah, but
he's also a defensive mastermind too.
Yes, but it was also a very much culture thing. Speaking of culture, is the Jags job like the best job? Like, they're gonna fire Doug Marrone, right? And that's gonna be the best job because you're getting Trevor Lawrence.
Explain. Okay, they have a better
strength of schedule. Their strength of schedule is worse than the Jets' strength of schedule.
Okay,
compiled, and they can't catch him in the next week because it's basically over after this week because week 17 is a push. It's division versus division, so everybody wins one and loses one. So unless the Jags win a game, they're getting the first pick. So I mean,
the Bears.
The Bears just hung 33 straight games.
I do need the Bears to win too. I'm sorry, Pete. I didn't want to text you that but I needed the Bears to win this week because I needed them to get to that push and that my over/under bet.
Our head coach is a moron and he can't coach defense. You can't give up 33 points to the Bears and expect to win. And the offense scored 27. I don't ever want to hear Kirk Cousins is the issue with this team. We scored 27 points against the Bears. It's not the fault. The O-line is dog shit, and we score.
I guess going back to that Jags conversation, yeah, I guess they have some weapons. You got James Robinson, nice piece. You have a decent defense. I think the Jags, they play hard, in my opinion.
The problem is the culture. I mean, they literally went to the AFC Championship game, and they completely blew it up for no reason whatsoever, it felt like.
Did they hire a new...
The GM's fired. No, the GM's fired already. So
they're hiring a new GM and a new head coach.
I mean, I'm assuming they're going to fire Marone, right? Unless you trust him to be the offensive guy. I don't know what they're going to do there. Trevor Lawrence is ecstatic, by the way. He already talked about how he hates the cold. I'm sure he's ecstatic to go to Jacksonville over New York. But it's going to cost that man so much money going to Jacksonville.
He should want to be in New York.
Yeah, like just like local endorsement deals alone. My dad was like, local endorsement deal. You get maybe $40,000 for a local deal in Jacksonville, like, you know, whatever, some local shop. In New York, you're getting $150K for some local thing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But only the Jets could screw the first pick. Only the Jets.
They should have fired Greg Williams.
Oh, we're not even going to talk about it. We tried to touch on NBA. What do you do with Sam Darnold? What are we doing with Sam Darnold now?
Sam Darnold could be used somewhere. I think you loved the idea of the 49ers getting a new quarterback, so he could go there. Everyone's obviously.
I'm not sold on Justin Fields though. What happens if he lays another egg against Clemson? I'm not taking him at 2. There's no way.
Maybe.
I mean, I at least know Sam Darnold can play. There's some injury issues, but the man plays hard, and they have absolutely nothing. Frank Gore is the leading rusher on that team by a lot. I think
it's time. You're gonna re-sign Sam Darnold to what?
You can get him cheap. You can get him on the cheap. He's still got 2 years left on his contract.
Okay.
And then
I don't think the Jets.
But I think if you can trade that second pick for 2 picks and draft a wide receiver and a running back right there, you're in good shape. The offensive line is getting better. The defense is not bad. We've known that all year. Defense is solid. They've scored an opening touchdown in 8 straight games, the Jets. So it's just like, it's the in-between. I really do think it's an X's and O's head coaching issue with scheming game plan.
Okay, well, we're not going to get to NBA. I'll give you NBA really quick. But because I want to talk about Sam Darnold and the Jets, though. So what can you get for Sam Darnold?
I think you can get way more for the second pick.
Okay, so
I think you can maybe get a 3rd-round pick for Sam Darnold.
I would trade Sam Darnold. I don't know who's going to take him. Somebody will. Somebody will take him.
And you're taking Justin Fields at 2?
No, I don't think I'm taking Justin Fields. I'm trading Sam Darnold, and I'm trading back, getting more picks, and then if you don't like Justin Fields, take your chance on the guy from Notre Dame or somebody else.
You mean North Dakota? Trey Lance?
North Dakota, sorry.
Yeah, Trey Lance.
Not Trey Lance, sorry. Take your chance there and get collateral. I think that's what he's going to do since he doesn't have the first pick anymore.
So
if you're not sold on Justin Fields, he might be sold on Justin Fields.
Nobody should be sold on Justin Fields. He literally needs to prove it against Clemson.
I'm sold on Justin Fields, of course, because we talked about this for weeks.
What part of the watching him play against Indiana and Northwestern sold you on him? He looked really, really bad against Northwestern.
Yeah, but horrible. We'll have some time to evaluate some other things as well. But if you're not sold on Justin Fields, I think that's what you do. You trade Sam, because I don't think
you blow it all up again. You essentially just clean house.
I don't think you blow it all up, but like you got a left tackle. I think you need a running back.
You need a receiver and a running back.
Mims isn't horrible, but you need another running back.
Nobody's talking about how they lost Robbie Anderson, and he's killing it in Carolina. Think how much better this team would be if he actually had Robbie Anderson to throw to.
That's their fault.
I know. Nobody's gonna argue that the Jets are a well-run team.
Yeah. But that's fun. Maybe we can do that after the football season. We can start playing some other things, and I'll come back maybe on it. We'll talk about that because I want to give you. You asked me for my MVP.
Oh yeah, the NBA. All right, let's get to it. Let's go. Give me your. We're not gonna break down this whole playoff. First of all, give me your sleeper. Who's a team that's gonna surprise us this year?
Oh, is it gonna surprise us?
Yeah, give me a little sleeper. Who's gonna be better than we think they are?
Better than we think they are. Okay, well, I think. Well, what I don't know. What do you?
So,
what do
the
you-
Mavericks were last year. Like, the Mavericks kind of were out of nowhere last year. Make the play,
Okay.
strong playoff
I
team.
think the Grizzlies are going to be better than we think they are, but they kind of showed us last year. But like, I do think they're going to trend in the right direction, upwards.
All right.
Is that not a sleeper enough for you though?
That's good. You got anything else? You got to give me give me a deep. Who's gonna really blow?
I don't think there's any deep. I think the teams we know are going to be good are going to be good. Unfortunately,
No Wizards popping off.
I think okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Like the Wizards are going to be interesting to watch, but like my thing is like they're not going to make any noise. Like,
How about is Phoenix finally gonna get in?
Oh wait, I was assuming I'm sorry. Excuse me. I was assuming that we already had Phoenix like trying to get into the playoffs.
Are they gonna get in? I'm thinking, are you gonna put Phoenix as like a 5 seed right now? Like, are they gonna be comfortably in?
Phoenix sneaks in at 7.
Okay, so they're not making a real jump at all then with Chris Paul.
I mean, this is tough. Let's just how
Chris Paul got the Thunder to the 7 seed last year.
I know how long we've been going. We have a little time to think.
We're 45 minutes. So.
Okay, cool. We're fine. So we got the Lakers. That's probably a 1 seed.
Lock.
Clippers 2 seed. Nuggets probably 3 seed.
Yeah, Clippers and Nuggets are gonna flip. I don't know how motivated the Clippers are gonna be.
Okay, that's fine. Either or.
Yeah.
So I got Portland probably getting the playoffs at 4. Jazz at 5. I like Portland. Portland's gonna be good. If you're not high on Portland, that's another one.
I just don't know if they can sustain it.
They're gonna be a very good regular season team.
They were pretty bad last year though. As a regular season team.
Pretty good. I think they're gonna have it together.
I think we can agree Utah and Portland are the next two.
Okay, then Utah, Portland.
Dallas. I maybe sneak Dallas in there.
Dallas 6. We haven't got to the Rockets yet.
The Rockets are gonna be bad, I think.
Okay, they might be bad, but we haven't got to the Rockets yet, and we don't know what the Pelicans are gonna do. Like Minnesota might surprise us still.
Oh, I never trust. I mean, Cat is just a bust. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we haven't got to the Suns either. And we haven't got to Memphis, so I think Memphis might sneak in there. It might be around.
All right,
so at AC.
I think so. The Thunder are out. I think Houston's out this year. I really like that. Everything that's coming out from Houston is a dumpster fire right now. James Harden doesn't want to be there. He doesn't work hard. He's fighting with new guys now. All this stuff's coming out.
So I threw a ball at somebody.
Yeah, he's got and he's fat now.
I don't think he's that.
He's thick, thick with 2 C's.
I guess my sleepers would be Memphis and Phoenix.
Maybe the East. Nobody in the East. I think the East is where you're gonna find somebody sleeping.
I mean, East is like true sleepers. Let's map it out again. So we got
Brooklyn,
the Bucks, Toronto,
Philly,
Boston, Philly,
Indiana,
the Heat. We're already at 7.
Yeah,
the
Magic seem to always be in.
And then the Wizards.
Interesting.
I think the Atlanta Hawks will be interesting.
I don't think Trae Young's.
I don't know if they're gonna.
Trae Young's not that guy. He's a scorer. He's not a guy that's gonna win games.
They will be interesting.
I'm not interested in a team that wins 12 games and Trae Young scores 50 points a game.
I don't know. We'll see. So I guess what your sleepers are you looking at would be
Charlotte,
and possibly Charlotte.
LaMelo's look good.
Yeah, I couldn't find my bookie didn't have it, but I was just gonna bet him on rookie of the year.
That's probably a decent bet. Even though James Wiseman is starting for Golden State,
so is LaMelo, right?
Yeah, but Golden State's
LaMelo doesn't take away Devontae Graham minutes because Devontae Graham was very good.
Playing both.
Yeah. Well, they have Rozier. That's Scary Terry too. They're real Scary Terry.
Yeah, he was very scary with his performance last year.
But he got that nickname for Terry McLaurin did. But Terry McLaurin deserves the nickname now.
I know.
You know
yes, because he's actually scary. I was saying Rozier was the scary thing about Rozier was how bad he played last year for Charlotte. All right, so give me your Eastern Conference Finals. Let's just go to this. I know your MVP. I can already tell you your MVP.
No, you don't know. You don't know my MVP.
It's gonna be KD, right?
Oh yeah, you did. Did I tell you this already?
No, I just knew it was gonna be KD because you're gonna say he's comeback player of the year or some shit like that.
No, I think KD's gonna be my MVP.
I think AD is gonna be the MVP actually this year for me. I think AD is gonna win the MVP.
I don't hate that. I would love Luka to win it, but he has to be a top 3 seed.
Yes,
I don't see that happening.
Luka's 2 or 3 years away from winning an MVP, and he'll definitely win an MVP.
It's not that he won't play at MVP caliber level. It's just that no one they hardly give the MVP to somebody who has a team.
It is the best story. LeBron is owed an MVP for the last 2 seasons, though. He may get one this year.
He's gonna only get Finals MVPs from now on. He'll be fine with that though.
He needs to get ahead of Jordan in the MVP totals. Give me Easter. Okay, so let's go Easter Conference Finals.
Like you want me to tell you what I want, or like
give me
happen?
What's gonna happen. I don't care what you want.
Unfortunately, I think no, I can't do it. For some reason, I still want to put the Bucks in there. They year in year out, they prove me wrong. But I don't know how much their Drew Holiday deal is going to do it for me. I don't like Miami losing Crowder, even though it doesn't seem like a big piece, but I think it is a big piece. I just think like
I feel the same way about the Nets because I've talked shit about the Nets and I really don't want to put them in the finals.
Okay, give me. I think it's so easy. Just give me Brooklyn and Milwaukee.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the Heat sneaked in there instead of Milwaukee. Okay, this is what I want though. I want the 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. I want the 76ers to make us the Eastern Finals so much.
Is where I'm leaning to my pick. That's where I'm leaning. But the problem is the seeding. I don't know if I want to I think Philly's in there based on their season. I think Doc's going to have them play really well in the regular season. And so they get like the 3 seed, maybe the 4 seed. Boston's in real trouble without Kemba Walker. This is not being talked about. They've been bad without Kemba Walker, and he's really banged up. And he's going downhill really fast. And so I think Philly kind of sneaks in there based on their seeding. And I don't know if Milwaukee and Brooklyn, like I really don't want to put Brooklyn because I've talked down the Nets so much. I think they kind of they're kind of lazy through the regular season, so they get a bad seed and they have to play Milwaukee in the second round. And,
I hope so.
All right, I'm gonna go Brooklyn and Philly. I guess I can't trust. I can trust Durant more in a big game than Milwaukee. But goddamn, I'm losing my mind watching Kyrie these last 2 weeks.
He's gonna sage it up and we'll be fine. I think KD gives Giannis buckets. Real talk. In that series, I don't think KD's guarding Giannis. Don't get me wrong.
No, nobody. The matchup, the best matchup against Giannis in the East is Philadelphia. Clearly, like because they can put Joel Embiid on. They can put Ben Simmons. They can switch with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons on Giannis, and he's not scoring.
Okay, and my Western Conference would be. I like Nuggets Lakers
again.
Again.
No clip. No LA. I
mean. I don't know.
I like LA this year. I think LA this year. I love the Lakers. Lakers are going to be the 1 seed again, and they're probably going to be in the Western Conference Finals. That team got better. That team won the title last year, and I think they got better.
No. I mean, you're back on the Paul George bandwagon, I guess?
No, I'm not. I think Kawhi's got something to prove.
Okay.
Playoff P is gone. I will never be. I've been on. You got on me for not being. You got on me for being so down on Playoff P. I told you Playoff P was Playoff P. So, all right.
If they would have got Rondo, I would put the Clippers. I think
you would feel better.
I like
if Jamal Murray can sustain what he did last year in the bubble. That's a very strong pick. Also,
trust him. I think we're gonna get a super mature Michael Porter Jr.
That will help, and maybe a solid bowl as a role player. Give you solid minutes. That's good. That's good for the Lake though. That's good for the Lakers if you get that matchup because they'll go big on big with them all day.
Yeah. And then you got my MVP, KD.
Yeah.
Finally, who's your MVP?
I think I want to go AD here. I think this is the year AD has a massive year. LeBron rolls back some minutes, and I think AD dominates in the regular season this year.
Okay, great. I know we're running out of time.
Yeah. Finals?
I should have put this one. Finals. Oh, finals. Oh, man. I don't know. This is Lakers Nets, maybe?
I guess.
I don't. It's so obvious, but it never happens that way, right?
No Lakers Bucks. No, you have the Bucks. Come on, Lakers Bucks.
No, the Bucks ruined me. If they need to, I need to be wrong about the Bucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if they make it to the finals, I'll be okay with that, like being wrong that way. If that makes sense.
I'm all for. I think Brooklyn doesn't get in because it always takes 1 year, but I can't put the Sixers in the finals for my health. I can't do that. So I'll say Lakers Nets, and I think the Lakers win in 5. I think the Lakers dominate that series.
No, I'd be surprised if we got.
There's so much to prove for that. Like LeBron is so motivated to smoke that Nets team.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch them.
It would be.
I can't come in here and not talk about Jalen Hurts. Sorry.
Sorry. You got his stats?
No, I got that. I can find him. Don't you?
I got him. I'll get him for you. I did it last week for you.
I appreciate that. Oh my gosh! I know he threw 4 touchdowns. Don't get me wrong.
He had a good. That whole situation's a damn dumpster fire.
Oh my! What do you do? Do you trade Hurts?
No, they like him. He's Philadelphia. He's tough. He's Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying?
I got his stats.
All right, here we go. Jalen Hurts, stat of the week. We're back.
To this podcast, so you know.
It's back. It's official.
Oh man, something's playing in my ear. Hold on. What's going on?
Oh, he's got
Hope
probably
you don't hear that.
ESPN. Oh, I can't hear it.
Okay, cool. Jalen Hurts, my man, the GOAT, the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. The man that wears number 2 in his chest. He went 24 of 44, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, pass rating of QPR 60.8. Gotta work on that.
Hey,
anyway,
that I'm big on that next number. 0 INTs.
Yes, 0 INTs. Oh, you know what? He kept his team in it, competitive. This Eagles team is, I don't know.
11 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Solid day on the ground too.
Yes, solid day on the ground. I don't know what the Eagles team can do. They need some help.
Nobody knows. The NFL is very weird this year. It's a very weird year. Nobody's consistent at all, it feels like.
What did they draft?
You got to draft offensive line.
Yeah, they got to draft offensive line. They still need receivers, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, hopefully Jalen Rager's not a complete bust.
Yeah, I mean, he's not bad. But couple games he's played, pretty decent. But he isn't no Justin Jefferson.
Shout out to Justin Jefferson making the Pro Bowl. Him and Chase Young, 2 rookies.
Nice. That's tough. I don't know what they do. It hurts. I really don't know. You can't keep them both.
He can't get rid of, and Wentz wants out, and you can't get rid of him because of his cap hit.
I think you say, I don't know. Do you trade Hurts? I don't know.
You can't trade Hurts. Like the Wentz era is done in Philadelphia. It's done.
I mean, I'm all about him since someone said did the numbers. I think Bill did, and it's like a cap hit, a big cap hit, but it's not as bad if you do it before a certain day. And then you can trade him to the Colts, and then
it's still $180 million over 2 years, I believe. Because
I don't know.
They deferred his guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So it's not next year; it's the year after that. It's in 2 years where it's a complete disaster.
You can't keep both. You got to figure it out.
No, I agree.
Like the logic sense would be
you shouldn't have drafted Jalen Hurts to begin with. You shouldn't put yourself in this situation.
You're not wrong.
So,
but now
we're here.
You draft Jalen Hurts. You trade Jalen Hurts for an offensive lineman.
I can't get rid of Jalen Hurts. Like Jalen Hurts is your starting quarterback.
I don't want to. You know how much I love him. I don't want to get rid of him, but I don't want him in his toxic situation.
You're gonna have to get rid of. I mean, you have to get rid of Carson Wentz. That's the only answer. Carson Wentz doesn't want to play for you anymore, and I wouldn't want to play for you either.
Well, I mean, sorry, you played bad. Like, what else do you want to
yeah, I will give some. He tried to do a little too much. Doug Peterson. I think Doug Peterson kind of screwed him. The play calling the last 2 weeks with Jalen Hurts has been so much better. They've been doing so much more motion, so much more bubble screens, so much more movement, and you can't tell me Carson. You can't tell me Carson Wentz. Maybe, but he also he didn't want to get fired. He knew they were blaming him. They were banging on the table for him, and now he's breaking out his A game. He was not calling these plays for Carson Wentz. It was a lot of Carson Wentz running for his goddamn life.
That's true. Also, I think Jalen watched Carson and was like, yo, just get rid of the ball, homie. And he came in and was like, I'll get rid of this damn thing.
It's true.
So that's probably what it is too. All right, I gotta go.
All right, he's got to go. It's good having you back. I know as much as you don't want to say it, you're going to be on here more.
Everyone tells me that, and I will tell them no, and I'll go watch TV in my room.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pulling your ass out of that room. All right, get your ass over here. All right.
I did check in and try to see what our movie date is, and I haven't heard back. So
yeah, I know.
I'll let you
I'm
know
assuming nobody's working this week because people are lazy.
They need to be working.
Yeah.
No, they only close on Christmas Eve and Christmas. But all right.
All right, I'll see you.
Much love. Take it easy.
See you.